Hello, and welcome to the 6th installment of my new series, The Invisible Guitar. I'm excited about what we're going to do today, but let's kind of review what we've done, and we're also going to talk about what we're going to do tomorrow, which is going to be a great surprise, with no guitar. Tomorrow I'm going to be sitting here with no guitar. I'm going to truly have an invisible guitar, and I'm going to share with you the best lesson ever. I guarantee it. So, let's talk about what we've done, because we've done a lot in 6 steps. This is exactly what it's like to study with me privately. And, we just keep going and digging deeper and digging deeper. And, this is the deep end. This is not the kiddie pool of guitar lessons. This is life-changing stuff you can keep with you the rest of your days, share with your kids, make your communication with the people in your band better, make you a better producer, make you a much better listener. That's all this is all about. Now, so the first thing we did was we established the perimeter, class 1. Class 2, we set up the channels of communication, which is learning to hear intervals and work on our ears and trust our ears, 3, we talked about the importance of attack, having a Ferrari or a Lamborghini over here. Economy of motion was big. Then class 4, we did something that I think is so important. We debunked and threw away the whole idea of scales having ends and beginnings. There's no need for that on a guitar, a stringed instrument. We got out of scale jail. Big stuff, really important. And then yesterday in class 5, we took a look at something that's very dear to me, which is the balancing forces of major and minor in music, which I think of like yin and yang. If you look at the yin and yang symbol, on the white side there's a little black dot, and on the black side there's a little white dot. And major and minor are like that. Minor scales are derivatives of major scales. We learn it comes from the 6th degree, or you can count 3 backwards. Okay, so today I'm going to introduce something to you that a lot of us musicians call the Nashville System, or I've heard it called the Nashville Number System. But there was a gentleman named Neil Matthews who in the 50s really came up with this as a simplified way to help the Jordanaires communicate in the studio. And I forget the other guy's name, but another guy kind of took it and ran with it and started using it. And I love it. I teach it to all my students. And it's really based on learning how to hear a bass line. Let me say that again. It's based on learning how to hear a bass line. And in mathematics, what does bass mean? It means 0, ground 0. So the 1 is movable, just like in the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do system, But this is just based on using Roman numerals instead of that. And it makes, where even in the middle of a tune, somebody could put up, okay, we're going to the 2, and everybody in the rhythm section would know where we're going. Now we're going to go to the 4, and we're going to the 5, we're going to go to the 6. It's almost like shorthand for musicians. And it's very advantageous, and it's a very great ear training tool. So it's just basically based on this. That's simple. So let's go back and look at our major scale. We'll just give them degree names that are different now than whole step, half step. Here we have the 1. We have the 2. We have the 3. We have the 4. We have the 5. We have the 6. We have the 7. We have the 1. So now you could take a song that was 1, 4, 5, which is majority of blues and rock songs are 1, 4, 5, tons of hit songs. If I told you, well, play me a 1, 4, 5 on your low E string, and notice again, I'm going to do it on 1 string. I know it the other way, but you learn more when you look at it on 1 string. It's simpler, you see the relationships, and also you learn an east-west relationship with your guitar, and you learn to use the whole thing, rather than that position playing that I find to be very frustrating. I don't want anything to do with that. All right, so now, here's 1, then we'll go to 4, and we'll go to 5. We gotta go now. Wild thing, boom, 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 boom. La Bamba. Just about every little riff you can think of does something to do with that. All blues. I was just messing around, but it's 1, the 4th degree of the scale, 5th degree of the scale. Let's look at another one that you hear a lot. What if I called you up and said, hey, play me a 1, 5, 6, 4, and you give yourself away, and you give yourself away. Ba ba da boom, ba ba da boom. There's a U2 song. I always crack up, in Texas there's a lot of churches, and a lot of praise and worship songs use that bass line. I can see why. It's very pleasant. It's very consonant to the ear. It sounds good. And therefore, a lot of hit songs use that same formula. Here's another one, real simple. What if I called you up and said, hey, play me a 1-6-2-5, which, in the jazz world you might call rhythm changes. So that would be playing 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. When we were growing up, we all watched the Flintstones. Bum bum ba da bum bum ba da ba da 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 ba da ba. See how simple this is? You're crazy if you don't really get into this Nashville system and start analyzing songs. When you're on an airplane and you hear anything, just try to follow it, Most of the time songs start on the 1, not always. And even when there's adjustments, because, you can sharp the 4, for example. If you want to know what that would sound like, it would sound like you sharp the 4. You would literally go to the 4th note and make it a half step up. Okay? So if I played 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, there's a great Police song. What is that song? Every little thing she does is magic. A sharp 4 is a Lydian sound. You hear that a lot in Prince's music, Frank Zappa's music. Steve Vai and Joe Satriani like that sound a lot. I like it a lot. When I lived in Denton, it seemed like everybody liked that sound there, But you could tweak that. You see, you would hear that there's something going on there where the 4 was sharpened. There's a George Strait song that does that same bass line. I don't remember the name of that song, but it's a really good song. Check that one out too. And see, these are all references, just like we did with the intervals, just like my mom taught me, by association. All the music that you listen to can help solidify this framework that you're developing now of trusting your ears. And that's what music's all about. And I just wanted to hammer that home in a short class today. Tomorrow we're going to do the invisible guitar. Literally, there will be no guitar here, and I will prove to you tomorrow that some of the greatest things I ever learned about guitar were when there was no guitar present. I have a story about Alan Holdsworth where we were hanging out in Houston just having a pound and a few ales, and he started talking about some things, and major light bulbs went off for me, and I've had that happen a lot with a lot of my friends, Clint Strong, definitely. One of my favorite musicians is a guy named Clark Erickson. Just talking to Clark, I've learned an incredible amount of things. And Michael Combs, a great musician I work with, who has incredible ears. We were hanging out one night at Cool Beans upstairs, and I don't tell you this to impress you, but just to impress upon you how this works. We were checking out this band, and they were doing their original song, and all I could hear was Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. The song sounded nothing like that, but it had the exact same chord progression. So I walked up to Michael, and I started singing, Mama, ooh, didn't mean to make you cry, all that in the middle of the song, and Michael's like, yeah, man, yeah. This is the kind of, once again, it's all about giving you freedom. I can't guarantee you a lot of things, but I can guarantee you these facts will make you dangerous on the guitar. And this is behind the scenes. This is structural. This is like architecture. Very dear to me. Okay? So I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, my Facebook. Social media is here to stay. It's where all the eyeballs are, so we'll help connect each other in that way. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Email me about private study we can really get into this stuff. I just had a wonderful lesson over Skype and FaceTime yesterday. So I'll see you tomorrow.